the Mozzart, back to the Mozzart tournament.
Right.
Some people, supported Tusker. Some people were supporting Kakamega Homeboys. For me, I was, supporting Kakamega Homeboys. No, I know Bill was supporting Kakamega Homeboys because you see, those are their neighbors, but they were beaten. Sorry, Kakamega Homeboys managed to win. For the first time in their history, they won that competition. Now, I know there's a lot of questions, but first of all, please, Bill, tell us how you feel about, the match. Share with us your disappointment. I know some viewers also support Kakamega Homeboys. Sorry, support Tusker, because maybe they are fans of the beer itself.
Right.
Now let's start with Bill's disappointment.
First of all, let me just make this clear. I'm not disappointed. I don't know why Elvis is up in my business that I'm disappointed. I'm not disappointed. Yeah. One thing that I can say is I'm happy for the fact that the Kenyan football is undergoing a transition. All right. And I think it is in this era where we are not seeing the likes of Gor Mahia dominating kila kitu, FC Leopards dominating kila kitu, and right now Tusker dominating everything, because Tusker missed out on the KPA title. Yes, they have missed out as well on the Mozzart stop and also the most important of all, they've also missed out on the continental football. But on the flip side, look at the advantage, right? We are seeing a change of guard where Kakamega Homeboys. Actually, Kakamega Homeboys have had, the past 2 seasons they've done really well, because when you look at how they performed last season, finishing number 2 behind the Tusker FC in the KPL title, it was quite an improvement for the team. And despite the fact that this season, walilegeza kidogo, walimaliza number 8, we've seen them, make their mark in continental football. Now they're going to join Gor Mahia and other big names in the continental football. You talk about Zamalek, talk about big teams from TZ, from Tanzania, that is. So it's a big step for Kenyan football, and as well as for Kakamega Homeboys in general. But then again, kudos going to Kakamega Homeboys. They did really well, I think, and you'll agree with me that while we were talking here on Saturday, Kakamega Homeboys are the underdogs, right? Because Tusker FC, they've dominated the league, both the KPL and also the Mozzart Bet Cup, tournament. But then again, with Kakamega Homeboys, they offered a new style of play, a new relief in Kenyan football, something I'm pretty sure we're yet to see, in the continental football. Their style of play, their young, energetic coach is working really well with the players. So it's a big win for Kakamega Homeboys. But for Tusker FC, I believe a lot is yet to be done. First of all, decluttering, because a new change. We need to see new faces in Tusker FC, because when you look at how they played against Kakamega Homeboys, of course one would assume they would dominate the game, but then again, small mistakes happen apale, and it did cost them the title. And they need to understand that, just like our colleague was saying behind the scenes, that pride caused all this. It is something that can happen in football. We've seen big teams getting disappointed. And I think you'll agree with me when we equate Tusker FC with the Arsenal. Because of how, ikifika wakati wa mwisho, but I don't know what happened. But then again, Tusker FC, I believe they need to change a lot of things. Coach Robert Matano was very disappointed and very vocal, talking about how they need men of character. They need people with literally balls to play for the team. So I think Tusker is going to need new players coming next season, because things are going to get tougher for them should they not go back to the drawing board. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. I agree with you 100%, and that is clear.
Right.
Also, yes, Tusker is the same as Arsenal. They all tend to fumble the bag when they're closing. They're near.
Fumble the bag, yes.
I think the biggest challenge for teams like Tusker,
right,
the center, when they were playing against Kakamega, the center was open, the right right wing on the defense was also a big problem. How do you think they felt? For because Tusker for a long time they didn't wake up with this. They haven't woken up. They were making small mistakes, tackles. But on Kakamega on the other side, they were confident. Their player, particularly one, was very confident, pushing, and and I'm sure next time they might also have a chance. Because right now, the defense was very poor.
Right.
And that they used to their advantage.
Yes.
And that gave them the advantage. But I also think it's because maybe because we don't have VAR. If we had the VAR very well, and what do you think also, the referee being human, missed a lot of tackles, a lot of challenges as well. Right now, Tusker was good, and it is a good team, but maybe, the attitude was the biggest challenge to them, against Kakamega Homeboys. And the coach, Matano, was also very disappointed, as you saw in the post-match interview. And do you think, where should they focus on here locally first? Locally, generally in football, do you think we need the VAR? Do you think also where do we also have to change so that we can see our football improving? Because on the Tusker's defense, it's poor. The center was dead. They were all confused. We saw Kakamega pushing them. They even looked scared. Now, what do you think? Where can they improve specifically? And also comment about the VAR.
Right. First of all, let me just begin with the officiating situation or the VAR situation. We're still in Kenya. We're still developing sport, right? And I want to thank the government, by the way, because we've seen the different trainings that the coaches, the referees are currently undergoing in different areas in the country. This seeks to to boost the different ways in which we are viewing football in general, because of course we are relying on the Western influence as far as following the VAR, following the rules in football and all that. But then again, for that to even happen, for officials to really understand, operating with the machines like the VAR, they still need to learn the basic, they need to understand the basic, rules that come with officiating, and that is why we are seeing, the trainings happening, and even representatives in big tournaments. We saw, for example, the World Cup, where we had, a few African, referees representing from different parts of the country. So I think we still have a big step, a big step to cover as far as making officiating proper in our local games, because the situations when it comes to working with officials, to colliding with officials to affect the games, it's something that is there, that we all know that is there. Match fixing is something in Afanyikanga. So we still have different I think policies to maybe put in place as far as officiating is concerned. But then again, when you look at the way you talked about how Tusker were really weak in the areas of like midfield sector and the defensive department. I think they caused their problems for themselves, because Tusker is well known on how in managing the ball really well, with or without when they're not in possession. So for them controlling the game, it's up to them. They missed out. They caused their downfall. They missed out the title because of how they did not properly manage the field of play. When you look at how Kakamega Homeboys did, they knew really well that the threat that Tusker poses. When we don't have the ball, we are going to defend. When we have the ball, it's all about attacking, but attacking carefully. That is why we saw instances where they were hitting the posts, trying to put pressure on Tusker FC when they had the chances. And Kelvin Amwaye, when he got the chance in the 73rd minute, I believe, he did not hesitate to put the ball in behind the net. And it was a chance that came begging, because Tusker FC were really not handling the ball properly. And as much as sometimes, and we've seen this before when Gor Mahia are playing, where watacheza vizuri, you know, but then again the fans will start, accusing the referees for favoring, you know, the different sides or you know, of the teams. So of course, in such a situation, you would see that Kakamega Homeboys kama wangechapwa, some situations would have warranted them complaining, and and vice versa. Kama Tusker FC, it would have not been a fair game. They would have complained, hitting back at officials. But this time round, credit goes to Kakamega Homeboys because they played really well. Instances of relying on the referee for them to win the game, so they could not depend on the officials for them to get the desired win. I believe it was down to the character they had, the confidence they had. They knew well what they were working with. Tusker FC, a well-experienced team, a well-experienced coach, who they were a wounded lion after missing out from the KPL title against Gor Mahia. Of course, it would have gone one way. Either emotions played part to this, and Baka they could not focus, or and get the result, or they were coming to hurt them proper. But then again, kudos to Kakamega Homeboys. They really worked well, and also kudos to Kelvin Amwai for giving the team the desired win.
Thank you so much, Ben.
Right.
I know right now Kakamega Homeboys are relieved because the coach was extremely happy.
Right.
He thanked also CAF.
Yes.
He thanked Mozzart for the partnership that they had and the opportunity as well. And right now I know he feels very proud because it's the first time in their history that they're winning the Mozzart, the Mozzart tournament.
Yes.
So I think right now they've come with a lot of lessons, and next time I think we're going to see an improvement. I also want to congratulate with the Kakamega Homeboys coach Matano, because he's been a coach for a very long time.
Right.
He has he has a lot of wins to his name. We also want to congratulate them, and again I congratulate Kakamega Homeboys for their win again. So I also hope that they're going to train more. Like Bill said, the training on the referees and the officials and the coaches, I hope they're going to continue so that we can improve the officiating of the game, and next time we will not have issues of favoritism in their play.
Right.
No support, no team might claim that other team was supported, and also the issue of buying off the referees will be a thing of the past.
Right.
So I think that's it. Congratulations to Kakamega Homeboys once again.
Right.
And also, just
right.
now, Bill, just insight. If the matches, were fixed, maybe Gor Mahia and Tusker, because you see the first leg they beat, and the second leg they beat. So you can't really say Gor Mahia fans, always complain of match fixing again. Do you support that? And next time maybe we'll be able to win again.
But you see, anything can happen in football. I'm trying to see the angle you are coming here, but anything can happen in football, right? Hata kama ingekuwa Gor Mahia, them getting to the finals and playing against Tusker again. If anything, ingekuwa more interesting because the fans. We understand how the pressure that Gor Mahia fans bring to the stadium, and as well as Tusker fans. But then again, I think I could have gone down to the wire with Tusker now, having the fact that, bearing in mind, Gor Mahia wameshinda KPL, so maybe hapo wangekuwa more aggressive, and situations in football warrant these things. Taking case, for example, Manchester United against Manchester City in the FA Cup final, right? Manchester City knew really well that should they win against United, then they're increasing the chances of securing a treble, because they had Inter Milan coming up in the Champions League finals. So walikuwa na more reason to fight, right? When you look at United's end on the other side, waleta mchezo wakaangusha Europa, wakaenda na Carabao. So they were less, should I say, for them, they had not much to lose in this particular situation, unlike their counterparts, and the like counterparts Manchester City. So in this particular game setting where we had Tusker and Kakamega Homeboys, in my own opinion, and that is why I was really behind Tusker FC, they would have thrown everything they had, as far as getting the title is concerned, because they wakikuja pale with the pain, understanding the fact that Gor Mahia walitunyang'anya KPL. This is we are playing against a side that is Kakamega Homeboys, a side that we dominated against them last season, tukashinda the title. So this time round we know the ins and outs on how to get past them, and also carrying at the back of our heads, missing out on the KPL title. They had all or nothing against Kakamega Homeboys to win the Mozzart Bet Cup. So, but it happened. It is what it is. And I'm sure. And one thing I'm really looking forward to is the transfer market as far as the KPL teams is concerned, because when it officially opens, we're going to see that players moving to different teams, and I'm going to see how Tusker. I'm going to keep an eye on how Tusker is going to to maneuver in the transfer market, because it's about time that we bring in fresh blood. Robert Matano needs to work with more hungrier players, just like he said in his interview, because getting results, waiting to get to the finals, then winning or losing rather by 1-0 against a side like Kakamega Homeboys is something that warrants big changes in the squad. So let's wait to see how they're going to perform in the transfer market and in future in general.
Okay, thank you so much, Bina. I believe in the transfer market that is about to start. Because of the disappointment that the coach has had, and I'm sure he marked the places where they need to change.
Right.
Like the defense, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of change.